Town Patrol Station. We're dispatched to an accident on the 10,300 block of the North Freeway. Officers arrived at 3:55 p.m. where they met two vehicles that had been involved in an accident. The officer arrives, talked to the occupants of the vehicle, and they advised that a third vehicle, a green SUV, had cut across them and caused both of them to crash. The officer, seeing that it was just minor damage on the vehicles, asked the vehicles to exit off the freeway. We usually do that for safety, make sure that there's no more accidents that are caused because we're up there investigating the accident on the actual freeway. They moved here to this 10,800 block of North Freeway to investigate the accident. The primary unit put out a general broadcast advising that a green vehicle had been involved in the accident and asked other officers to check the area, see if they could locate the vehicle. The secondary unit arrived at 4:04 p.m., observed a green SUV just one block south from where the accident was being investigated, approached that vehicle, talked to the male occupant of that vehicle who appeared to be intoxicated. The officers began to ask questions. The male at a certain point then brandished a pistol, at which point the officers discharged their firearms. They tried to provide medical aid, but quickly realized that the male was deceased. Sad day for Houston. Obviously, our condolences for that male and his family. Also, very difficult time for our officers. Both officers one has about a little over a year and one less than a year, so they're new officers out here on patrol. Obviously, they didn't expect their Saturday to turn out this way, so our prayers to them and their families as well. Just like any other officer-involved shooting, this is being investigated by our Homicide SIU, who will conduct the criminal investigation, as well as our IAD, who will do the administrative investigation. And the district attorney's office is here as well. They will do an independent investigation on their side. Just like every OIS, we will be releasing the BWC within 30 days. Are there any questions about the incident today?
This being, I believe, the third homicide in a row, what do you have to say to the community about that? Number two, with staffing, how are you able to handle all these issues?
I can say that we always have issues with staffing, obviously.
Give me one second.
Yeah.
Sorry.
We're good.
Sorry for coming in.
No, you're good.
Sorry. Oh, okay. We're just gonna have to hold it. Okay. I got it. All right, go ahead.
Yeah, staffing is an issue, but luckily I made the scene yesterday and I made the scene today. Not only did we have units that arrived on scene quickly, but also had backup units to assist those units. Obviously, the last thing we want to do is a violent confrontation, but usually that's dictated by the person that we encounter, and we hope to never be involved in that. And a lot of officers, I myself have never been in an officer-involved shooting with 18 years on. That's the last thing we want to be involved in, but sometimes that's just out of our control.
Can you share some information about the suspect real quick, age, range?
Right now, as far as we know, we still haven't identified him, but he appears to be in mid-20s, early 30s, white male.
And was a weapon recovered from?
Yes, he was armed with a pistol.
Was he the sole occupant?
Yes, sir. Sole occupant, yes.
And just from what we could see, it didn't look like at any point he didn't ever get out of the vehicle, or can you kind of just explain a little bit more about that interaction between him and the officers?
Yeah, so he was inside the vehicle still talking to them, at which point he started to pull out a pistol while still being in the vehicle.
Can you go back, walk us back to the top where you talked about what happened on the freeway? You said he cut off someone or someone cut off him?
It's all preliminary. Just from what we've heard so far from the people that were involved in the accident, it appears he either cut them off or he kind of ran them off the road, probably because he did appear to be intoxicated. At that point, that caused the other two vehicles to strike each other, and then he continued to travel and left the scene while they waited for police to arrive.
What is the status of what the two people that struck each other? What is the status of that?
They're fine. They did an accident report for them, and there were no injuries.
And has that been cleared from the freeway?
Yes, it was cleared right when they were there. We usually try to clear vehicles off the freeway as soon as we can, just because it's a safety hazard, not only for the occupants of the vehicle, but for our officers as well.
Were they going to be northbound?
They were heading northbound, yes.
Any other questions?
Did they see him and then pull him over into this parking lot? Somehow got into the
No, the secondary unit made it through the area just looking for the SUV and noticed the SUV parked in the parking lot.
both officers discharged their weapons.
Correct. Both officers did discharge their weapons unknown amount of times at this time until we further investigated.
And you know if the suspect got a shot off?
It did not appear he did. No, it did not appear.
We'll take a few questions in Spanish real quick.
Or do you want to do Spanish on the side?
We can do Spanish on the side.
Yeah.
Any other questions? Good,
I'm
we're
assuming
good.
that the officers were riding together. They were in the same patrol car?
Correct. Yes, yes, yes. So there's 2 units that responded. The first original accident, and then the secondary unit was a 2-man unit. They were together.
Any other questions? All right, thank you, Chief.
I'm sorry, but the fact that he caused this accident, that in itself, had he not been drunk, wouldn't have been such a big deal other than causing the accident, right? And then
Correct.
this was kind of,
At most, probably failed to stop and give information because you can't leave an accident once you're involved. You should provide your information. That's at best. But once he was intoxicated, the officers had to further investigate the incident.
Is there any dash camera or surveillance cameras that
There's-
showed some of this?
There's BWC that captured the shooting. This building appears to be abandoned, so but the investigators will scrounge the area to try to find any surveillance video. At this point, I know for sure that we have BWC.
And then anything showing the actual crash that or him causing that accident?
No, not that I know of, not yet.
All right, thank you, Chief. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.